Y'all give me just a second. We're going to get going in just a second. Just give me just a little bit. We'll start a little pregame chat. See if anybody else shows up. We got some big stuff to talk about. See y'all in a minute. All right, we're going to get this thing fired up. We are going to get this thing going very quickly. It's the off season, so it's not quite as many topics to talk about, but we do have a few. So we're going to get going in just a second. Here we go. Let's do it. All right, everybody. Welcome back. This is the Lock, Loaded, and Goated podcast. So we are here today, and right now it's just me, but this is the pregame, so don't miss anything. Like I said, people show up, they show up. If they don't, we have a panel of 5 of us. So like I said, they ain't always available, especially on a Saturday night, which I understand. So with that said, what's going on in the world? College football. I'm a Bama fan. That is my life. That is what I follow. And Alabama has some news. We have some news in the offseason, and it's exciting news. So just for clarity, right now, Alabama is playing Arkansas in basketball. They're at Arkansas. That's a very tough game. Arkansas is actually very, very good, and they're on a bit of a winning streak right now. So it's going to be a tough game. It's still early. We're up, though. So we want to make sure we just keep an eye on that, follow it. But Auburn goes down today to Florida. Florida is the giant killer. Florida is the giant killer right now. They are killing. If you're ranked number 1, don't play Florida, because bottom line is they're destroying everyone. So, that's... that's basketball for you, especially in college. So we'll keep an eye on the Alabama-Arkansas basketball game. But the first thing we're going to talk about today is the elephant, pun intended, in the room. The elephant in the room, and that is Alabama hires Ryan Grubb. Ryan Grubb to be its new offensive coordinator. Oh, man, I got to take a little sip. We do not lose Nick Sheridan. So Nick Sheridan has been moved to quarterback's coach. I don't think Nick Sheridan did an absolutely bad job. I know some people that have followed the show have said that, he's absolutely terrible. I don't necessarily believe that he did a bad job. The execution was poor. So with poor execution, therein lies part of your problem. So you execute poorly, it just looks like you did a bad job. Now, people will say, well, what if he just didn't do a good job of planning and scheming around Jalen Milroe? And I'll say to this, there's only so much you can do. There's only so much you can do to help Jalen Milroe. There's only so much you can do to help people that just can't execute. Nick Saban had his moments where there's people that were clearly talented but just could not, make it work on the field. So. And Milroe was okay. He was okay. He was a mediocre SEC quarterback. He wasn't the worst, and he wasn't the best. Anyway, we're going to keep an eye on that. But what we're talking about is Ryan Grubb has taken over offensive coordinator at the University of Alabama. So the Washington Huskies offense that we saw make it to the national title game, that is what Alabama is getting with Ryan Grubb. He has NFL. This guy around the league is well respected. So Ryan Grubb, Nick Sheridan, Nick Sheridan's been along for the ride, and he did an okay job last year. He did an okay job. But I think Ryan Grubb is the piece that we were missing. Kalen DeBoer can quit focusing on the offense as much with Grubb at the helm. And I think, honest to God, I think he'll be able to coach the team and be more effective that way. So I'm excited. I'm excited to get Ryan Grubb, and I think the offense is going to be that much more dynamic. Not to mention Nick Sheridan, who has worked with the guys that we have on the roster, and he did help recruit Keelan Russell. And he's going to keep building those guys. So it's not like he went back to being a tight ends coach. He's back at the quarterbacks coach, which is probably the most pivotal position for us. I mean, most pivotal position in football. So good for him. Good for Nick Sheridan because he still has a job. He did not take a pay cut. So let's just be clear. He did not take a pay cut. And he's still on the team, still on the roster. That's how much Kalen DeBoer thinks of him. Great. And honestly, we picked up a home run higher in Ryan Grubb, and we're better off for it. So Alabama's better. What I have been hearing, and again, you hear things right, wrong, or indifferent. It may not be anything worthwhile, but what I have been hearing is there's a lot of optimism around the program right now. I don't know how you would say that, like, and be like with a straight face, go, how can you be optimistic? You know, you lost 4 games, including to Michigan. How can you be optimistic? How can you do that? Well, they are. So apparently they know something that we don't. There's tons of talent returning on the defense. That's a positive. We can all say that with certainty. That's a positive because the defense wasn't terrible. Kane Womack, at first, I was cussing him. The Vanderbilt game, I was cussing this guy left and right. And then we turn around and we look and we're like, at the end of the year, we're like, damn, this guy didn't do that bad. This guy did okay. What the hell are we worried about? I mean, the defense actually at the end of the season actually played up to its potential. And good for him. Good for Womack. We're glad to have him now. It took a minute. He had to get his sea legs. SEC is not for anybody, and obviously the talent and the speed of everything that comes at you, it's different. That's one of the reasons why I think Ty Simpson starts over Keelan Russell this year. The speed of the SEC is something that's too much to overcome for most people. Very rarely does someone just adapt that quickly. It is possible, though. We have seen it. So I don't want to sit here and be like, oh, it can't happen. It can happen. Anyway, like I said, we're keeping up on the Alabama basketball game. With Auburn going down, this game is pivotal right now. It's 33-30. Arkansas is going to play us tough. It's at Arkansas. It's going to be a tough game. But Alabama, this is a chance to really show what they're going to do and how are they going to take the basketball serious this year. Because last year, I think we overachieved last year. I really do. The team just got hot and started playing as a team at the right time. This team has been said to be the best team that we've had. This is Nate Oates' best team, so it's pretty cool. So much so, I don't know if you guys realize, we're building a $60 million practice facility for the basketball teams. $60 million for practicing. I mean, God bless America, guys. Practice. We talking about practice. We talking about practice? All right. Anyway, so Grubb is here. So what's the offense look like? That's the first thing. So we're counting down the days. We're not that far away from spring practice. We're a month away from spring practice, guys. A month away from spring practice, essentially. And so we'll get into spring practice, and then here comes the A-Day. A-Day. What are we going to see? What's the difference? I mean, it could be very vanilla. I do caution you guys. It's going to be vanilla because obviously we talked about this last week. Teams like Nebraska have literally canceled or they're discussing canceling their spring game, which is a huge revenue builder for them. I mean, even though you don't charge to the game, concessions, all that stuff costs money. It makes the university money. That's a huge loss, especially in the NIL world, where schools are about to be able to pay revenue sharing to players. So I mean, he's got to have some merit there to be doing that. But so what is the offense going to look like? We lost Justice Haynes to Michigan. Michigan just pays more. There's nothing we can do about that. Although, we're competitive, but Michigan offered him the bag, and he took it. He took it. So, and good for him. I don't have anything wrong with him. I don't know. I don't have anything against him. I wish he would have stuck it out, but at the same time, I didn't see that burst. I didn't see that dynamic spark that I was expecting to see. I'll tell you who I do see spark from. I see it from Richard Young. Every time Richard Young gets in the game, he's electric. I mean, he hits the hole like a bullet. And he's just like, he looks like he's just ready to go hit somebody. I mean, he's not the biggest guy, but he's not small either. So it's like, this guy really looks like he's ready to take on the new role. And I'm excited. I'm super excited. Oh, damn. Two mics on. James, you should have said something earlier. Hold on, let me see. Why is that on? Is that better? Is that better? Damn it. Got to do all that shit over. Is that better? I don't know. Let's see. I don't know why it's doing that. All right, James. Sorry. My bad, bro. Yeah, man, I depend on y'all. Like I said, I'm by myself tonight, so obviously it's a little rough. But anyway, so Ryan Grubb is here, James. That's all you missed. Ryan Grubb is here. That's the big news. Ryan Grubb. What are we going to see on A-Day from the offense? Who's going to take the helm? I think Ty is going to obviously be the lead-in. Keelan Russell's talented, guys. From what I have heard already, just from the people that are in the know. Like I said, I listen to several podcasts, several people that are insiders, BOL, On 3. Anyway, thanks, Mosley. Appreciate you, man. But anyway, for all those people that I've been hearing and listening to, and these guys are the experts. I'm just here reporting what I hear. I'm hearing that Keelan Russell's impressive. We knew that. He was National Player of the Year last year for all sports in high school athletics, all sports. So he's number one player on Rivals. He's phenomenal. He's the highest player Alabama has ever signed, and he beat out Bryce Young, the highest player as far as recruiting rankings that Alabama's ever signed. So he's going to be hard to beat, but I've heard he's already he's turning heads and he could beat out Austin Mack. So that's going to be a problem though. And here's the thing. If Austin Mack feels like he doesn't have the talent to compete with Russell and Russell passes him on the depth chart, does Mack stay after spring? He can still technically transfer. Then we're down to two scholarship quarterbacks. We do have a walk-on who's been there for several years, and he's not going to win you a title, but he's going to just come in there and throw the ball around. But anyway, so what does the offense look like? So offensive line, that's one of the things, like, who starts at offensive line? You've got let's see. Jaden Roberts should obviously be locked in. I'm going to say Wilkin-Formby is our tackle. I mean, that's pretty much. Center's a lock. Left guard. Who do we got at left guard? Yeah. Mosley, I'll say this, though. Milroe, I don't know if you remember. I don't know how much you've watched and stuff, but I don't know if you remember the A-Days when, like, Mac Jones, Bryce, Tua, when they came out on A-Day and played, I remember watching the game and being like, oh my God, our defense sucks. Because they were just so good on offense. And now I'm looking at it like, even like, it just seems like, I don't know. It just seems like we've lost a step, but I'm hearing the offensive. I think the offense is going to be okay. Offensive line, Caden Proctor he's going to be solid. So who do we got replacing the guards? I mean, who's going to be our, I still think Wilkin-Formby. Wilkin-Formby technically did start some games last year. I think he'll be fine at right tackle. I think he's gonna come under his own. So really, you got one offensive lineman, that's your left guard. And I'm gonna tell y'all, if you haven't already heard, and I'm just gonna be upfront about it, Michael Carroll is on his way. He's there, and I'm telling you, stud, the next big offensive lineman for Alabama. This dude's nasty. So if he comes in and he's able to take that spot, which there's a lot, man, there's a lot of good talent there. It's going to be interesting, though. But Michael Carroll, certainly a true freshman, would have a shot. And we'll see on A-Day, but he has a shot for sure. Let's see what else we got. So schedule-wise, looking ahead a little bit. I mean, spring ball starts in a month, but looking ahead, we have a hard game at Georgia. That's going to be a tough one. We open the season with FSU. Wisconsin's coming. Then we play Georgia at Georgia. I mean, this schedule is not set up. I mean, it's not going to be easy. Not at all. We play at South Carolina. The schedule is top heavy. It's loaded. But maybe we can make our way through. If the defense plays like I think it does or can, if the defense plays like I think it can, I think we're going to be okay. I think we're going to be okay. I don't know. That's me. What's up, JD? How are you, buddy? But anyway, long story short, I'm looking forward to seeing how Alabama responds after what I would call, I don't want to say it was unsuccessful, but Kalen DeBoer had more wins as a first-year coach at Alabama than any Alabama head coach in history, and we've had 2 of the best ever. So with that said, I'm not upset. With the season. I think we definitely underperformed what we should have. I think we all agree with that. Vanderbilt loss, and then obviously, the Oklahoma stink. I don't even care about the Michigan game because at that point we were all kind of disgusted anyway. It is Ty's time to shine, James. I'm going to tell you right now, Ty's time to shine. The dude's been in the system for 3 years. I think he's ready. I think it's going to be interesting too because he reminds me so much of Mac Jones. Now, I don't know if you guys realize this, but Ty's got a little brother at Martin right now who is just as good. Damn, what the hell was that? Something just scared the shit out of me. Oh, Kias, what's up, buddy? Oh my God, Kias, that alert scared the shit out of me. All right, hey, what's up, Kias? How are you, man? How come I'm not seeing the chat? I gotta figure out how I can't see your chat. Let's see. I gotta see the chat. Oh, there we go. There we go. Anyway, what is going on, everybody? Sorry. All right, we're back. Okay. I'm trying to get focused. The alert got me. All right. So with that said, I think Alabama is in good shape, but time will tell with quarterback play. Okay. So yeah, Moses, we talked about that, so Nick Sheridan was coaching QBs and offensive coordinator last year. So Nick Sheridan is still going to be QB coach. And you're going to be essentially Ryan Grubb will be full-time offensive coordinator. So it'll be interesting. And that's fine because Sheridan has the relationship with Russell. And I do not think we want to jeopardize that because this guy could be the the future of Alabama. I'm a man of my word. How have you been? Hey, what's up, Kias? Hey, I appreciate you, man. Hey, I'm doing good. This one is for our people on the purple. Kias, this one's for you, brother. And this one's for Mr. Mosley. He's doing an awesome job keeping up on the TikTok. Anyway, so that's pretty much what I'm looking at right now. So I do have a question. If anybody out there in chat land wants to discuss it, but what are we thinking of Belichick? We talked about it. We've all acknowledged it. What are we thinking about Belichick? How is he going to perform? I don't know. I'm excited to see. With that said, I mean, we'll see what happens, but I'm just curious to see who you got. OSU, Texas, week 1 next year. This one's going to be a tough one, Lucky, and I want to tell you why. I'm not sure who Ohio State's QB is going to be. So money for me, I'm a Bama guy, so I know who Julian Sayin is, and I know him very well. I followed his recruiting because obviously I'm a Bama guy, and he committed to Bama and came to Bama. But yeah, if my money's on Sayin, But does Ohio State give him the ball, give him the command, or do they go out and get a transfer portal quarterback? But with saying, I think he's ready. Is he ready to play Texas his first game, though? That's what we have to ask ourselves. That's huge, huge, huge. It's going to be a huge environment. I don't know. I don't know yet. Man, that's a tough one. It'd be hard for me to bet against Ohio State right now just because I feel like as a team management aspect, they have it down pat. I think they have it down pat. So I think I'd probably pick Ohio State, and I'm an SEC guy first and foremost, but I would probably just go ahead and I would pick OSU just because they're defending champs until someone knocks them off. But it is possible. Texas is very deep, and Texas is good, and they have talent. So, and Arch Manning is definitely going to be the talk of the town next year. He may not be anywhere near as good as his uncle or uncles, but it's certainly going to be talked about a lot. So, yeah, Lucky. I could see, for an instance, Julian saying, maybe losing the first game. I'm not saying he will. I'm saying I could see it, and then getting some easy games and him starting to catch a rhythm, and then Ohio State just taking off. Yeah. Mosley, I agree. Belichick is a legend. It's going to be hard to win at UNC. It'll be hard. I know Mac Brown won some games, but they were never. I mean, he didn't win a conference title. I mean, what has he done? I think Sayin will be looking for revenge on DeBoer. What do you mean, Kies? What do you mean looking for revenge on DeBoer? What kind of revenge? What happened? Oh man, like I said, stuff's hitting good. So okay, so yeah, that's the thing. Mosley is maybe though he plays it like Saban did, and he just manages the roster the way. I mean, because it's becoming more and more like professional football. We can all agree to that. So maybe he has some insight on that. Maybe I don't know, but let's see. This article just popped up for me. Let's see here. Trying to look and see what it says here. Just can use a charge now to get player back on the field. Just players faking injuries. They're just trying to throw out some rules and regulations to try to prevent faking injuries. But yeah. Yeah, but Kies, we wanted to keep saying we wanted to keep him. He left. Like he left the minute Saban said he was retiring, he left. Like he didn't even wait for DeBoer to get hired. How do you think the Gators will do this season? So, Lucky, let's just talk about the Gators real quick. So this is a great topic. I appreciate you asking the question. So I have seen Florida being predicted as a playoff contender, not just in the playoffs, contender. I have seen them as a playoff contender, and I've seen them just being mediocre with Billy just steering them right into the mediocrity. I've seen all kinds of predictions. Lagway is the real deal. I mean, there is no debating that. I won't be the first one. Sorry. All right, Lagway is the real deal, guys. I don't know how else to say it, but Lagway is the real deal, and I think that with him under the helm, I think Florida is easily a 9-win team, if not greater. So if he's spectacular, yes, 11 wins is possible. Like I said, if he's just as good as he was this year, Florida's very talented on defense. They have players. Lucky, I'm with you. I think him just being okay, they could get to 9 wins. Florida could get to 9 wins. Yes, I agree with you there. That's pretty good. And I think, honestly, 10-2, Florida's in the playoffs at 10-2 because that means they beat some really good teams to get there. So It'd be interesting. It'll be interesting to see what Florida says. Florida does. I apologize. What Florida does, because I'm looking forward to it though, because Lagway is one of those players. So people are just falling and fainting over Lenore Sellers at South Carolina, but to me, like, I don't know, man. He just reminds me of Milroe. He's there and he's great one game, and the next game he's just he's okay. Like, I don't know. I'm not as high on him as I am Lagway. I have real nope. I have real no. Anyway, Lagway is the truth. Sorry, my sons. But anyway, yeah. Lagway, very talented. Lenore Sellers is talented. I'm just, when I see him, I get those Milroe vibes. And right now, I don't have good things to say. I don't have good things to say about Milroe right now. But I mean, I do wish him the best. He's going to pro, so he's not going to be messing with us anymore. So that's it. I mean, I'm looking at just trying to figure out, like, we had a big recruiting weekend this last couple weekends. Lots of talent coming in. Hearing some big names. Like I said, Ty Simpson's little brother is a name that's popped up on the radar for sure at quarterback. I think he's a 27 or 28 kid. But I'm looking forward to seeing essentially what happens, this spring. I'm going to be going to A-Day. We're going to go to A-Day. It's time for some more, Kias. Thoughts on Beck to Miami. Yeah, this is definitely some fireside chat here. Pour some bourbon, and we're going to talk some football. What about? Yeah, they announced A-Day. I think it's like April 12th or 13th or something. Hold on. They announced it. April 12th. April 12th. I'll be there, Kias. I'll be there for sure. You ain't got to worry about me. I'll be there. Okay, with that said, thoughts on Beck in Miami. So we said this on a couple podcasts, and Lucky, don't let me put a pin in that one. Don't run off. I'm gonna tell you that. I'll tell you what I think about that. So Beck in Miami. So I think Beck is a decent QB. I think Beck, with the right talent around him, is a good QB. He proved that when he was at Georgia, when he had Bowers and Ladd McConkey. He proved that he is a decent QB. He's not terrible. He's not. He's capable of putting up big numbers. With that said, he went to Miami and is going to make $4 million, 4.5 million. I can't remember what was the number exactly, but $4 million. Do I think he's worth that? No, I do not. I do not think he was worth that. So, with that said, like, kudos to Miami. They're staying competitive. They're trying to stay relevant. They were almost in the playoffs this year. I mean, in all arguments' sake, they should have been in over SMU. But with that said, I like the move that Miami made to go get him. That's, he's probably one of the best ones that was out there available, if we're being honest. I mean, there wasn't a lot available. So good for them. But him going there and making that kind of money, and then, like I told y'all, Jaden Daniels only made $787,000 this year. Or that's what he's scheduled to make next year, and you've got this guy making 4 times as much. What? Jaden Daniels is like 8 times the quarterback Carson Beck is. 8 times the quarterback. I don't know. I think there's a lot of issues with the Beck thing. I think Beck felt that it was his time to go, leave Georgia. He did. So, I mean, I'll say this: kudos to him for reading the room and understanding the situation. Because I honestly, I felt it. Riddle has been on the show many times, and he has, professed how upset he was with Beck. But I just think it was his time to go, and I think he found a home, and they paid him handsomely. So, good for him. He's put himself in a really good position. He's playing lesser competition, and maybe he's going to try to build for the draft next year. So the next question is, Okay, so Lucky, don't leave. James, I don't know if they tried. I don't know if they tried to get Beck. I'm just gonna say that out loud. I don't know if they tried to get Beck or not. I have not seen that anywhere other than like message board gossip that they were trying to get it. Like, I have not seen anyone say they went after Beck. Maybe a booster reached out to see if he was interested. Maybe his agent reached out to us to see if we were interested. I'm just telling you, I didn't want Beck, because what I didn't want was another quarterback. Roll Tide, Austin. What I didn't want was another quarterback like Milroe. So anyway, Lucky asked a good question. He says, do you think Michigan season wins? This is a very good question. And the reason why I say this is the more that they dig kicking ass in basketball this year. Yeah, I'm not watching the game because I'm doing this, but I am watching the score, and we're up 6 at the half. And Auburn went down today, so we have a legit shot to really do well. I'm sorry, Lucky. So with everything that went on, so let's just talk about the scandals that happened at Michigan. I don't know anything. I'm not going to be the one to say and profess that Michigan should vacate its title. I'm not saying that. I'm telling you what I know. I know the sign stealing scandal is a big deal because unlike paying players, you're amassing talent, but you still have to perform and execute on the field. Stealing signs, stealing plays absolutely gives you an on-the-field benefit. And it's very, very, very... You can't be in the camera, baby. Hold on. What? Why? All right, I'll come in here when I'm done. Anyway, I'm sorry. But yeah, so the sign stealing thing is a big deal. Not to mention impermissible benefits. I want to say it was something like a hamburger. I don't remember. I don't remember what the impermissible benefits were. I know Alabama got hit with vacated wins because textbooks. They sold their textbooks. So bottom line, I'm not opposed to Michigan getting sanctions. I just don't think they will. But I mean, I think the NCAA is a joke now. But the other thing that Harbaugh did that most people forget about is Harbaugh was allowing extra practices. When NCAA they have practice limits. You can only practice so much during a given week, and Harbaugh was practicing over that, practicing outside the alleged practice windows. All this happened their national title season. So three sanctions. Haven't been here in a while. Last time I talked about it, how do you feel? I'll be right. I'll get you, Braden. Hold on. But yeah, so three sanctions in 1 year that Michigan won. And in all honesty, like, I don't know, man. And now the fact that they found out Sharon Moore. So the reason why he's asking about Michigan, guys, is Sharon Moore has gotten caught deleting emails. He was deleting emails pretty much saying that he was implicated on. So Michigan's stance for this whole thing was Jim Harbaugh was the coach. He's no longer here. Don't punish these players. Well, turns out Sharon Moore was just as guilty, and he was deleting the emails that were linking him to it, and they found him. So bottom line is there is still some trouble in Michigan. What will happen? Who knows? No, you're good. He said he deleted emails out of frustration. Yeah, exactly, Lucky. Exactly. I mean, come on, dude. Come on. I don't want to hear your mess. I don't want to hear it. Let's see. Okay. I'm sorry. Austin says, I got my Ryan Williams jersey tailored next week. I'm hyped, dude. That's awesome. So if I can ever do this, guys, this is what I want to do. My dream jersey is to have a Derek Thomas jersey with his name on the back. You know what I mean? That's my dream jersey. I actually have a Cornelius Bennett jersey with his name on the back, but I need a Derek Thomas jersey. Anyway, okay, Ryan Williams is definitely a jersey that I would like to have, though. So Braden says, haven't been here in a while, but last time we talked about OU. How do you feel about OU and their team? I like OU. I think OU They have a lot to build on. I mean, you beat Alabama. So, and Braden, do not feel slighted because Alabama scheduled their senior game against OU. So this last year, our senior day was against no, homecoming was Missouri. Senior day was, I don't remember. And the only reason why your senior game is because the SEC and the way it worked. We played you before we played Auburn. Well, this year we're playing Auburn at Auburn. So, we didn't have them to play our senior game, but I wouldn't feel bad about that. But I think OU's got a lot of talent. I like Venables. I do. I think Venables has a good. I think he's got a good scheme. I don't think I see any reason to be worked up or. I mean, obviously, if he doesn't win this year, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. But I think OU's got a good team. I mean, you had a lot of injuries last year, and y'all still were able to have some big wins. So not familiar how vacation works with Huskies be champions. I don't know. Probably just give it to Washington. I don't know. He said, I'm collecting everything for the future man cave. Hey, that's awesome. You wouldn't believe the shit that I have. So, I got you. A lot of people just, yeah. No, I know. Thank you for following Lucky. I know, Braden, and I'm not, listen, I get it, man. You can ask the question. I don't care. I mean, like I said, I'm not one that's going to be sensitive about stuff like that. I mean, obviously, I know how the business works. So homecoming's got to be at some point. Homecoming's got to be a certain game. We got so many good games on the schedule. Which game's going to be homecoming? Like last year was Missouri. Missouri got all but hurt because they were homecoming. Well, goddamn, you're at homecoming. I mean, we can't help that. What about Simpson's jersey? Yes. Hey man, if Simpson comes out and wins me a title this year, I'll have me a Simpson jersey. How about that? I'll have me a Simpson jersey. In fact, what? So just so y'all help me out here, because I can't remember. What was Jake Coker's number? Was it 15? Was it 15? I can't remember. It's 14. I think Coker was 14. Okay. Well, Ty's 15. Well, I was going to say, I'd love to have a Jake Coker jersey. That dude was a badass. So who will Bama's QB be now? And is he not? And is he nice? So I can know. So what we're thinking, Braden, what we're thinking is we're thinking Ty Simpson. And so I have a guy on the purple over here telling me, he said, that's a high bar for first year starting. I agree with you, Kias. But again, imagine, just walk down this road with me. Ty Simpson reminds me of Mac Jones. And Mac Jones' first year starting, what happened? We won a title. I mean, we absolutely just tore through the whole SEC. But I think Ty has been there. So, yeah, he did redshirt. He'll be a redshirt junior. He's going into his fourth year. So the reason why I say Ty is because he has been in college football at Alabama for 3 years, going against Nick Saban's defenses, different offensive schemes, things like that. But he's seen and picked up a lot. I think he's going to be well adjusted to the speed of the game, and I think he's going to be able to play. Now, I'm going to tell you what I know he can do. I know he can read a defense. I'm going to see how he puts it all together, though, because I don't know. I'm optimistic, Lucky. I mean, I'm optimistic. Braden. I'm sorry. So I'm optimistic about him, and if he's not it, Keelan Russell's sitting there waiting. He was the number one player in football, so he'll be a good one that can take over too. So Lucky says, thoughts on FSU next year? Was this year a fluke, or could it be telling the future of the program? I'm going to say this. I think FSU will have a better season this year than they had last year. But I will go out and say that I think FSU has a program problem. There is no way you go from an undefeated regular season, conference champions, to one, or I can't even remember. They one win? Was it one win? Was it one or two? I don't remember. I mean, that's the absolute, has to be one of the worst turnarounds in history. And I'm going to tell you, I can say that because I know in 1999, Alabama won the SEC title, beat Florida twice, and, had an awesome team, 10-3. The very next year, they're ranked in the top 10, and they go 3-8. So I understand. I remember those days. But anyway, I don't know though. Norvell, I don't like how he handles the media. And like I said, I'm drinking now, so we're just sitting here shooting the shit. But I don't like how he handles the media. He has a pouty way about him. Like, I don't know. Like, I guess I've been around Saban, not around him, but I've listened to him as an Alabama fan for a long time, and like he'll sit there and he never, if you ever watch Nick Saban in an interview, he never ever discredits the other team. He never discredits the other team. He always says, "That's a heck of a team," or you guys are acting like like if we would have lost to Vanderbilt under Nick Saban would have been the first to criticize you for saying it's Vanderbilt. But I digress. It is Vanderbilt. We understand we're fans, but Nick Saban took no one for granted. Norvell just seems pouty every time. I don't know. Yeah. So let's see. Mark says, thanks to Coach Fulmer for that 3-8 season. Yeah, you're right. I mean, you're right, Mark. You're right. But I will say this. I was at the 2006 Alabama-Tennessee game. I was there in Knoxville. That was the game that sealed Shula's fate. That was the game where he, on 4th and 1, instead of handing it off to a fullback that was running pretty well against Tennessee's front all day, he kicked a field goal, and we lost that game. That was the game that took him out of the driver's seat. And then I was at the 2007 Alabama-Tennessee game when Alabama beat Philip Fulmer, and that was the game that put Philip Fulmer out to pasture. So I was there at both times, and I'll say this: we had winning. I mean, Nick, we did win with Nick Saban. That's the truth. There is no denying. And whatever it took to get Nick Saban, no one can say it wasn't worth it. That was probably the most dominant span of coaching that's ever existed. Okay, so Braden, you asked this. Go Vandy. Hey, right. You know what? Props to Vandy. Can't even talk shit about him. Props to Vandy. So you say, does Jalen Hurts belong to OU or Bama? Braden, what do you think Jalen Hurts would say? Nick Saban plus 74 million. Riddle me that. What does that mean, Mark? He doesn't say OU Livewire. That's not what he says at all. He claims both of them. But if you want to give him to OU, you can say that. You can say that. We didn't turn our backs on him. We actually we like him a lot. We like him a lot. I mean, who do you think the half of the 74 million went to? Half of the 74 million. Like I said, we've been down this road before. If you were insinuating that Alabama was paying players, then okay. But every other team did too. So there you go. Whatever you want to say. Every other team's doing the exact same thing Alabama's doing, and obviously people are doing it better now. He played well and developed under both. Yeah. So here's the deal, and this is the way this goes. Do you smoke cigars? Yes, I do. Only when Alabama beats Tennessee. Tough. It's the truth. Liked him so much you benched him. Like I said, you don't get to decide where he claims. He claims Alabama and Oklahoma, so you can't. Mark, Alabama was doing nothing different than every other team. You can keep trying, bro. That doesn't fly. You have no credible evidence whatsoever. Every single team, has a way of getting money to those guys, those players. They've had it for years. Now, if you're saying Nick Saban was better, if you're saying Nick Saban was just better at it than everybody else, probably you're probably right there. But yeah, so back to Livewire. Livewire is saying OU, Bama. So Jalen Hurts, where did Jalen Hurts graduate from? I mean, just ask yourself that question. Where did he graduate from? Where's his degree from? So if he wouldn't have put his name on a resume, he put his job on a resume, where would he say he graduated from? I don't know. He does have a degree at both schools. He did go and get a degree at both schools, Braden. It was a trick question. I know that. But he graduated undergrad at Bama, and he went to his master's at Oklahoma. So bottom line is he can claim Bama, whatever. He can say whatever he wants to say. He has a degree from Alabama. Better at paying players. Hey, the fact is Tennessee got caught paying players, giving it to them in McDonald's bags. Alabama didn't do that. Auburn's been paying players for years under the Yellowwood umbrella. I mean, this stuff goes on at every major university. People come in here and they try to say something like it's some profound truth. The fact of the matter is Saban left, and that's the only reason why anyone else outside of the elite few have a chance. No, we wouldn't. We'd use Dreamland Barbecue. That's the deal. The deal is the mediocre teams didn't have a shot. 100%, Braden, 100%. I'm not naive, okay? I'm not naive enough to say. The thing is someone like Mark. Mark has no credible evidence. He's throwing spaghetti at the wall and seeing what sticks. When you have evidence, you can bring it on. But no, the fact of the matter is Alabama is a very profitable school. So Alabama, third most revenue last season. Third most revenue behind OSU and Texas. So, and just so we're clear, we're in Alabama. Look at the population of Alabama. Look at the population of the state. There's no reason why Alabama should be making the money that it does, but it does because football is everything. How do you think LSU will turn around this year? Is there a future under Brian Kelly? Dude. Brian Kelly has moments of clarity where he looks so good. And then he just has debacles, like just straight debacles. I don't know. I never liked Brian Kelly. I hated him at Notre Dame because he looked like a beat every time he get mad. He's sitting there. But I didn't want to say this, but we're going to say it. Yeah, I Gary Braden. No point talking about it. Every school pays players. Every school paid players. It's happened for years. Teams have gotten in trouble with it over the history of football, and every school has done it. Just the shitty ones get caught, and Alabama has been on the shitty end of that side. So we can all say what we want, but we know what's going on. So you're asking, Lucky, Brian Kelly, what do you think? And I know I'm answering your question with a question. What do you think about the Greg Brooks Jr. situation, where his dad went on Good Morning America and pretty much called him out? He had a brain tumor, I guess, or is that what he had? A brain tumor? And basically said that his team completely, they said concerning a misdiagnosis treatment of Brooks, and they completely had brain cancer and completely just left the kid by the wayside. This is his dad going on Good Morning America and saying this about Brian Kelly on Good Morning America. Dude, I've not heard anything that damning in a long time, because when a parent, and I get it, this kid's never playing football again, okay? He literally, yeah, I mean, this kid's never played. I mean, maybe I don't want to say never. Hey, thank you, Eli. Roll Tide, brother. Just go look up Greg Brooks Jr. and just read the story when you get off here, Lucky. Just read the story. I'm just going to tell you, man, all things aside, If any of this stuff that they're saying is true, oh my God, dude. Oh my God. There's no way Brian Kelly can shake this. Now, he didn't do anything illegal. He didn't do anything wrong. But it makes him just look like he's immoral as hell, and it makes it look like everybody on that team's a damn number instead of a human being. That's what it looks like. I'm not accusing Brian Kelly of anything. I am not sure. I'm not sure that he did anything wrong because I don't have all the facts. But this kid played football for you. You know, you recruited him, like you said, Braden. And if all this is going on, I don't see how he shakes it, but we'll see what happens. You said, I've heard LSU was looking at Wisconsin's Luke Fickell not too long ago. So let me ask y'all this question. And I just want to be honest and we're talking now. We're all shooting the shit. Having 15-star player on his team, I mean, he recruited better. I mean, what do you want? I mean, what's your answer to Hugh Freeze signing 5 stars going to Ole Miss, knowing he was offering strippers and recruits and paying players? I mean, well, you know, he got caught. You bought tickets? That's gonna be an awesome game. What if he only had one 5-star player? I'm going to be honest with you, Mark. Saban was not the X's and O's guys. He had a scheme, and it took talented players to utilize it. So if that's what you're asking me, he had a very complex scheme. So, but yeah, dude, that's freaking awesome, dude. That's awesome. I mean, I would love to go to that game. Money's tight, man. I can barely afford a game anymore. If you're a 5-star, why would you want? Lucky, most 5-star talent, most want to be around the best players. And listen, Ohio State has good players. Tennessee has good players. Georgia has good players. Texas has good players. It's just a matter of where you feel comfortable. But there's tons of talent at multiple universities. The difference is there was only, before all this stuff happened, there was only 8 real teams every year that had a chance to make a playoff. And that was before we even knew what happened in the regular season. It was the Ohio State, it was Texas, it was Bama, Georgia, Clemson, Michigan. I mean, there was just a handful of teams every year. And lo and behold, I'll be damned, we get our first 12-team playoff and the blue blood wins another one. It's amazing. So nothing changed. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. I know. I see. Like, you're right. You're right. 100%. You're 100% right. Hey, in 2017, it was our year. Let's see. Yeah, that was a crazy. That was because that was the year of the Georgia game, wasn't it, Braden? I was trying to see here. What was it? Okay. Lucky, you said something about Fickell. You said that LSU was looking at Fickell. What have y'all seen out of Fickell that makes you think this guy's great? I'm asking. I'm not a big Wisconsin follower, but what have you seen that was like, hey, look at this guy. He's fantastic. I haven't seen anything yet. I mean, I think the dude's a hell of a coordinator. I thought he was very good at Ohio State. I just, I'm not sure I can buy in on the Fickell talk, but let's check in on the basketball game. Oof. Alabama is up 10 to start the second half. Second half, 46-36 right now. This would be a big win. I know Alabama is favored, but Arkansas has been on a tear, and we have Texas on Tuesday. So this is a big stretch for us because we have Texas on Tuesday. Then we have the Iron Bowl of basketball next Saturday. So game day is going to be there. This is going to see where we stand. Auburn is a great basketball team. I know they got beat today, but they're a great basketball team. How do we stand competitively against Auburn? Do we come out and play like nobody's worried about soft football? Come on, you got to support all the sports, man. You got to support all the sports. Oh, anyway, okay. So we're gonna go back to football. But yeah, so don't worry, Mark. That's definitely the sport that I shine in. I'm not a big basketball guy. I'm not like a diehard, like watch every game like I am football, but I do keep up with it because obviously that's revenue, and it is nice being good at both schools. Let's see here. Let's see. I was going to ask. I was going to ask y'all something. Okay. Well, enough chit chat. So tomorrow's the big game. He's done well versus mediocre teams. Very underrated. I'd gladly take him over Kelly. You would take him over Kelly. Oh, okay. So Lucky, you're an LSU fan? Or are you just saying you would take him over Kelly? How do you feel about Auburn and their recruiting class with the transfer? So Auburn, dude. So Braden, just think about this, and I'm gonna ask this question. So yeah, you're good. No, I'm asking this question. Y'all gave Jackson Arnold away. Y'all couldn't get rid of the dude fast enough. What in the world makes you think he's going to go to Auburn and just be a world beater? I mean, I'm asking a serious question. Y'all, he didn't even beat Alabama throwing the football. He beat Alabama running the football. Oh, yeah, I don't like Kelly either. I think he's a piece of Like I said, I'm not condemning him for the Greg Brooks thing, but I don't like him. I didn't like him when he was at Notre Dame either, to be honest. So, all right, Braden, you got a few minutes. You got to come on. You got to persuade me. So while he's coming up with his thought, I want to ask y'all who wins the Super Bowl tomorrow and why. I'm going to go ahead and tell you mine while you are thinking. I'm going to go with the Eagles. I know if I was putting money down today, I would not bet against Mahomes and the Chiefs. But come on, man. Give me Slim Reaper. Give me A.J. Brown. Give me Jalen Hurts, and let's do this. Saquon's unstoppable. Let's do it. I'm ready. I'm ready for the Super Bowl tomorrow. It's going to be interesting. So you said we gave him no way for success, no O-line. We promised him great receiver room. They all got hurt. I mean, but you can't help that they got hurt. You can't help that they got hurt, dude. I mean, he was a very talented kid, very talented. But I'm just going to be honest with you, and I'm not trying to like. I'm just trying to be honest. There are such things as busts, people that just don't pan out, and I'm just going to tell you, if you think Auburn's got a stacked offensive line, they don't. They're no better than OU. They're no better than OU on offensive line. Y'all have just as much talent as they do. Just as much talent. I mean, it may be spread out in different areas, but y'all are talented just like they are. Now they're gonna spend money, dude. Oh, Yellowwood's gonna spend money to get those guys in there. And I mean, they have Cam Coleman. Cam Coleman flat out, he followed the money. He was a 5-star, looked like a future. He got very upset because Alabama was so high on Ryan Williams. Notre Dame's O-line does look good. I just like the kid, and I feel like we failed him. You didn't fail him. You did not fail him. His receivers got hurt, And instead of sticking it out and fighting for the damn job, he just fucking turn, tail, and run, dude. That's on him, man. Like I said, is that freshman leaving? What's his name? The kid you had as a freshman that came in? Is he leaving? Y'all failed him too. There's winners and losers in the world, Braden. And here's the deal. Winners fight for what they want. They take it. They go out and take it. They don't let someone dictate to them their success. And that's the thing. Jackson Arnold's not that guy. Tim Tebow, that's a winner. I like him or not. Johnny Manziel, that's a winner. Cam Newton, can't stand the guy. Can't stand him. That's a winner. But anyway, I'm just saying that Arnold, he might end up being a great QB. I'm just saying, like, he's not that level, because if that's the reason why he left, that's not fair. That's not fair to you. Not fair to the fans. I got some friends in that space, which is the reason why I brought. Okay. I'd love for the Eagles to win so we can watch Philly turn. Oh, dude, I know. The Philly does not know how to win. You talk about not knowing what winning looks like. It's Philly. I mean, they've won Super Bowls, but just it's crazy. UConn football joining a big conference soon, bringing basketball with them to the Big 12. William. So they're boosting Big 12 basketball and literally degrading Big 12 football even further than what it is. I'm just going to tell you, I don't think the Big 12 should get an automatic conference bid. I think they stink. There's El Duque. There's little Tony Pardo. He's over there fucking around. He's fucking around. But anyway, yeah, so I read y'all's comments that the refs will not let the Eagles win, but I've got a strange sensation they win tomorrow. I got a sensation. I got one. I don't know why. I just got a feeling. Yeah, I did see that, Lucky. I did see that. Guy shooting his pistol in the air. What a dumbass. Tony, let's go. Let's go, Tony. Who got robbed of best linebacker and you can't debate it? What is that? Grease the poles in Philly now, blow the whistle. Let's see here. Oh, you talking about Boz. Okay, I see. Tony. Danny Stutzman. He's good. He's a good player. I liked him. So I got the Eagles winning tomorrow. Going out on a limb. I'm gonna take my name over here to the underdog. I think Saquon is what they needed. I think Saquon is this. He's the difference that they needed. I think they had they have just enough now to do it, I think. We're gonna see though. We're gonna see. Here's my pick for a guy that underrated as hell to some people. Most people that know him, they love him. Landon Dickerson, Bama boy. That dude's a frick. Hey, Braden, that's a winner. That's a winner right there. When you come on the field with a torn ACL, snap the final ball of a title game just to say that you were out there. I mean, that's a winner. Yeah. He says roll sooner because he has a degree from both. I mean, how do you argue with him? How do you argue with the guy who literally, has a degree from both? I mean, he's a Bama guy. He's an OU guy. I like Jalen Hurts. I don't have anything with him. The problem is at the time, Tua was just better. Now Tua's issues. He gets hurt too much. Talent's there though. So Eli got robbed with first ballot Hall of Fame QB, no doubt. One of 6 players in NFL history with 2 Super Bowl MVPs, beat the 18-1 Pats. Man, I'm not watching it, Jake. I'm not watching it. I've got it pulled up though. I've got the score pulled up. Alabama. Well, I had it pulled up. 59-43. We're pulling away. So I got it pulled up. You think any NFL teams pick up Winston? Yeah, I think Winston's going to get picked up. 100%. Tony, do you think Eli got robbed? So there's a guy in the chat right now, guys. His name is El Duque. He's normally on the panel with me. He's decided to sit this one out. But he has a different opinion. Hey, El Duque, did Eli get robbed? Anyway, the SEC, okay, the SEC in basketball right now is very good. Very good. Listen, Braden, Winston is good for morale because at least you know you're getting free crab legs. I mean, there's nothing better. Free crab legs, sign me up. I'm following that guy around. I'll be his entourage. Yeah, but I am keeping up with it. I saw Auburn getting beat. Alabama's up 19 right now with 13 to go. It looks like we might be too much for them. Lucky, you think the Raiders pick him up as a bridge QB? I mean, that's a good pick. That's a good pick. I like that. I mean, he definitely fits that Pete Carroll style. I could see that. Because I don't think Minshew or Aiden O'Connell are the answer. I mean, I'm just, where does Milrow go? God damn. Braden, I'm going to say this, and I'm going to be as truthful as I can. As big of a Bama fan as I am, and I'm a big Bama fan, any team that picks Milrow before the third round reached. So I got him going in. I don't know where he's going. I just got him going as a backup somewhere. I do not think. William, you say third round of the Steelers? Good pick. That's a good pick. I like that. They got Bama at third best to win the Natty and fourth best. That's how stacked the SEC is, though. That's pretty crazy. Not a Raiders fan, but I love Winston. I love their jerseys. Dude, I like the Raiders, too. When I play Madden, I'm always a Raiders guy. No, Braden. So here's the thing. He didn't shoot his. So he wasn't going to go early. Okay, he wasn't going to go early. No matter. This wasn't going to happen last year. The Vanderbilt game, he played okay. So the Vanderbilt game was not on him. The Oklahoma game was. The Michigan game was. Those two games cost him his draft status. That's it. 2 games. He played like shit against Tennessee. He played like shit. But at the same time, I could just argue that Tennessee's defense was that good. He played like absolute damn it against Michigan and Oklahoma. I mean, I'm not no sugarcoating that shit either. It was he looked like he was on the other. He looked like he had an OU jersey on. How do you think Miami will do with Beck? We talked about that at the beginning. Like I think Beck is going to do well down there. No. Oh yeah. So Braden, we don't call 20 QB runs. And I know it seems crazy to you. We don't call 20 QB runs. That's the thing. Milrow just stunk so bad. Y'all had one guy covered up. He just took off and run. I'm just being honest. Like I could go all day about this. I could go all day. But anyway, no. William Vanderbilt, he threw for 300 yards. He did his part, and Vandy, he threw the pick 6 where it got tipped. So he shouldn't have thrown the ball, but it got tipped in the air and it got picked off. The fumble, I mean, the O-line, the guy who missed a complete whiff of a block. I mean, he just got destroyed and fumbled. At the same time, do I wish he would have held on the ball? Especially considering it's his right side, his strong side. He should have saw or felt that pressure coming. He's just, like I said, he's not that good. I mean, he's just not that good. Yeah, Lucky, I agree. I think 100% Miami's offense last year was good enough to win a national title. Their defense was good enough to win a high school title. So Beck, I think, will be more of the same this year. I think he'll slide right in. I don't think he's as good as Cam Ward, but I think he's good enough to keep Miami relevant. But again, if their defense doesn't improve, I don't see him going anywhere. Yeah, man. I think it's time. Boys. Give me Penn State undefeated next year. Penn State undefeated. Mm, mm, mm. I don't know. Can Penn State beat Ohio State, Braden? William, I'm hearing that the Giants want they want to trade up for Shadur. All right, guys. That's gonna do it for us today. I think I'm gonna get off here. If it's Penn State at night, yes, sir. All right. That's gonna do it for us today. This is Lock, Load, and Go to. Normally there is 5 of us on. It is the off season, so bear with us. We don't have quite the pool, and everyone wants to enjoy their Saturday night. You just got me, lowly old me. But with that said, we do a podcast during the season every Wednesday, Saturday night at 8:30. In the off season, it's 8:30 on Saturdays. And what we do is we will post all the comments and all the stuff that we talk about. So if you ever miss the live, we will post it on Spotify, Amazon Music, and Apple Podcasts. And we hope to see every one of you guys back. Y'all be back next weekend.